Hello again. So, we have an event. Okay. So, the event that I have to go to is a more dressy occasion style Halloween thing. And I plan on using this for eventual photos and also for potential videos for TikTok. So, what I'm going to do is this is my Haunted Mansion Halloween costume that my husband got me for Christmas 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So, it doesn't fit anymore. I need to make it smaller. So, what I need to do is go ahead and take in the sides of the waistcoat and do the alterations on the pants. But I thought of this as another thing that we maybe can talk one-on-one with. But let me get everything set up so we can go ahead and do that. So now that I got everything set up, let's have a little conversation. So, I don't exactly know what y'all are interested in seeing from me. Could potentially go over, the type of Barbies I have, the thousands of Funkos that we have collected, even doing projects. Are y'all interested in seeing anything about my life? Other than me showing you my face, or, things like that. So if that's the type of content that you want to see, maybe make some suggestions down in the comments, and maybe I can do a video on it. But at the same time, how do I know if anybody's even interested in that? Because, there's thousands of people on this platform. Thousands. And some of them have been doing it for several months. Some of them have been doing it for several years. Now, I have only been trying to get over to this platform for several years now. But I finally made the leap last year, and life just decided to say, add your favorite word in here to you. So, I had to pivot and adjust. And in doing so, I thought, bringing some of my cosplay over to this channel would be interesting. Looks like it's more interesting on TikTok than it is here on this channel. So, I don't know. What are y'all interested in? Just let me know in the comments. So for right now, I'm going to have to alter this vest. And the best way to do it is to put it on. As you can see, this is quite large. So what I want to do is take out probably about that much on each side. So work. I'm not going to say too much because obviously the audio is kind of not its best today. But basically just add some pins to size out that will fit you and what you feel is going to be comfortable for your body. So, how much do I need to take off of this? I'm gonna get my ruler. It's lovely how things are 100% polyester. But, oh well. It is what it is. It's a Halloween costume. Costumes are supposed to be fun, and they're supposed to be, meant to fit you or a character you like. It doesn't have to be what everybody else likes. You could sit here and go as, Eva Gabor, Jar Jar Gabor. It's your body. You can wear what you want. I would recommend, dressing for the temperature that's currently outside, because you don't want to be wearing a costume that's too revealing and it below zero outside. Again, that's more of a safety thing. But if you're comfortable, in something, then wear it. If I don't want to see said costume, I will walk away or walk the opposite direction. That is just me. Now, there are people out there who do not do that, obviously. There's too many people out there, too many Karens out there nowadays that think that they pretty much run the streets. Okay. So the smallest point on here is 1 inch, so the largest is 1.5, then back down to 1 inch. So if I do the same measurements on the opposite side, it should work, scaling it to from 1 inch to its largest point, which is at the pocket, pretty much down to 1.5 inches. And I'll just repeat that over here, placing the pins. And I don't know what it is with half of my pins, but they do not like going through polyester too much. And pocket is 1.5 inches. So apparently I do have some hips. And boy, they'd be lying alright, because they'd be hurting. So, but I'm going to be doing this as a French seam, so I'm going to stitch it over the top about 1/4 inch away from, so that is a, here, and then 1 inch at the very top. So I'm going to do this as a French seam. Just go ahead and stitch it right down the side, trim that off, fold it, press the hell out of it, and then do another stitch over the top. That way everything's enclosed and I don't have to deal with this 100% polyester lining on it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that done. So as you can see, I'm basically just throwing a single stitch down the side and removing the pins as I go. So I don't know, I mean, Halloween time is like the busiest time for me, because I get a lot of friends inviting me to go do things, and I don't want to do them. I mean, I'm more of a stay-at-home kind of guy most days, but everybody wants me to go do things. Now, I don't know if I want to go do them half the time, because again, it's people. People is the, going out into public is always the peopling part that I don't want to do. Let's go ahead and trim off these edges and then press them flat. While that thing warms up, I'm going to go ahead and start pinking the edge of this. I might have to switch over to my other pinking shears. Surprisingly not. Normally these things are like dull as all get out. Okay. So as you saw, I basically just flattened the seam, and now I'm going to flatten this one, and then I'm going to basically sew right along the edge. But to me, doing a French seam looks nicer, and you don't have to really deal with all the other crap that comes along with it, like serging and stuff like that. But again, it's up to you. You could fold this to the inside and basically just press it and keep on moving. That's a you thing, babe. That's you. But I'm just trying to do this really super quick so that this thing fits. So you have a enclosed seam that looks good on the outside and looks good on the inside. So that's what a French seam is. So I want to be kind of like one of those people that is more or less like, you know, the basics. So let's go ahead and have some fun. But if you don't know the basics and you want to know the basics, just let me know in the comments. May have made it just a little smaller than I planned on it, but I like my clothes a little more tailored to me. But yeah, and it looks good all the way around. And now all I gotta do is the pants, and but I'll wait until tomorrow on that one because it's getting late and I gotta go to work tomorrow. So maybe it'll have to be until next time. So see you next work day. Well, it's another work day, so I've got to finish this up. I've got to take in the waist on this. I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and take it in on the back and then move the belt loop on here. So first things first is we got to go ahead and pick that off. I took my seam ripper and basically just took off every stitch that's holding this belt loop on so I can get it out of the way and reattach it after I'm done sizing it. Okay, so I know I need to take this thing in at least 3 inches. So let me go ahead and press this first. So while the iron heats up, what is everybody going to be for Halloween? I mean, I'm going as a male version of Snow White, which you've seen if you watched the last video. And that's only for work. And then for when we start to do the trick-or-treating here at the house, I'm going to go ahead and put on my Haunted Mansion butler costume. That's just because, you know, kids and such like that. I don't want to be too scary, but I also don't want to confuse the hell out of some of them. So, what are y'all going to be? So now we got this steam on. I'm just pressing it flat so that so that the seam is easier to do. So let me get some chalk using the Taylor chalk. So I know I want to take out 3 inches, so that's 1.5 inches. If I go ahead and mark this 1.5 inches. Okay. Now, because this is going into a crotch seam, I want to angle that down so that it meets up with the original seam. So as you can see here, I've taken it in and then I've sculpted it down to meet up with the original seam. I'm going to go ahead and throw some pins in this real quick so that it can actually stay in position. Well, that's as close as I'm going to be able to get. I don't think... Actually, no. That one works better. I don't really have too many greens because, again, I don't sew with green all that much. It's not like one of my favorite colors. So, you take that how you want. I mean, I like the nature, outside nature green. But when it comes to greens, it's not my favorite. So what's your favorite color, by the way? Because, you know, I'm kind of interested, and asking questions and answering them in the comments kind of boosts the video. So, put your comments down in the comment area, in the box down below. I don't know. Like I basically said, I'm just gonna go ahead and not hit the camera. Basically said I'm gonna go ahead and line this up, make sure that it's all aligned, throw a couple stitches into it. So I am not going to cut this because it will basically fray, and it does leave an alteration point later on. So if I get too big, then I can go ahead and add in or take it back out again. So I'm just going to fold it off to the side and put the belt loop back in position, which was basically like this. So it can stand to use a little bit more taken out, but other than that, I think it looks pretty good. So these are basically cheap polyester pants that I'm only probably going to wear with this costume and only with this costume. Maybe later on I'll go ahead and insert some pockets and maybe sew one onto the back. Don't know yet. It's just how it's going to be. So I know this was kind of a quick video for y'all, and this video is primarily to show that you can take a cheap costume off of Amazon or Spirit Halloween or even Walmart and basically tailor it to fit you. You just have to be a little bit careful when it comes to the materials and use a brand new needle on your sewing machine so that it actually goes through the fabric and doesn't get caught on the fibers, pulling the threads, making a snag. So I guess the next thing is the reveal.
There's a house upon the hill, full of ghosts who laugh and chill. Spiders crawl and shadows creep, but don't be scared, it's fun, not deep. Knock, who's inside? Let's explore, no need to hide with every creak.
Actually, come to think of it, doing a Halloween reveal on this is kind of pointless because this costume is supposed to be worn on Halloween or at conventions, and neither of those are going on right now. So hopefully this was more of an educational thing than more of an entertainment thing, I guess you can say. If this is the type of content that you are interested in and you want to see more, remember to like, share, subscribe, and come back again for another quickie or for another crafting and sewing video. We'll see you next time. Tschüssi!